Can a poop transplant help you lose weight? What if the key to fixing your metabolism isn't in your diet, your workout, or even your willpower, but in someone else's poop? Gross, right? In this episode, we dig into one of the most unconventional approaches in modern weight loss science: fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT. From its ancient origins to cutting-edge trials, this treatment is raising eyebrows and hope. Can changing your gut bacteria actually help you shed fat? We'll look at how it works, what studies say about impact on hormones and hunger, and why this treatment is far more complex than it sounds. There's potential, but also risks, including some you probably haven't heard of. But before we get started, we have a thin thread mystery for you. See if you can guess what it is before the end of the episode. We'll give you a few more hints along the way. What if the real reason your body holds on to fat is something you do every night without even realizing it? No, it's not food and it's not exercise. It's a daily behavior that can quietly disrupt your hormones, shift your metabolism, and affect where fat ends up. Think you know what it is? Stick around. We'll drop a few more hints before the big reveal. The origins of FMT. Okay, now let's get into today's topic. The idea of transferring poop from one person to another might sound like science fiction or a punchline, but fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT, has a surprisingly long and serious history. It's been used for decades to treat life-threatening gut infections like C. difficile. And now scientists are exploring whether it could be the key to tackling one of the biggest public health challenges: obesity. But before we get to weight loss, we need to understand what FMT actually is and how it works. Because your gut is more than just a food tube. It's a microbial ecosystem that helps shape how your body runs. Okay, first let's cover fecal implants. They aren't new. As far as we can tell, they started out as yellow soup in ancient China, used to treat diarrhea. Fast forward to 1958, when doctors used fecal enemas to help patients with severe gut infections. But the treatment stayed in the shadows for decades. That changed in 2013 when a trial showed it cured 94% of patients who had something called C. difficile. Today, the FDA has approved two versions of the treatment for C. diff. Both come from donor stool but work differently. One uses whole microbes, the other just spores. Results are strong, but long-term risks aren't fully known. Researchers are now working on lab-grown versions that could replace real stool, and maybe one day help with more than just gut infections. Now let's talk gut microbiome, consisting of trillions of microbes living in your intestines. It does more than help digest food. It coordinates metabolism, immunity, and even brain messaging via the gut-brain axis. This ecosystem is seeded from birth and continually reshaped by diet, antibiotics, and your environment. FMT can be used to restore a healthy microbial community if it ever gets disrupted, repopulating and rebalancing those functions. In most studies, altering the gut flora can change insulin sensitivity, energy harvest, and fat storage. Bottom line, a healthy gut microbiome drives far-reaching effects on your body and brain. Still thinking on the thin thread? Here's another clue. Skipping it makes you feel hungrier and also less able to burn what you eat. The kicker? It even changes how your body handles sugar. This one habit doesn't just add calories, it rewires how the body stores them. FMT for fat loss? So, could changing your gut bacteria help you drop pounds? That's the bold question scientists are now testing. If our gut microbes influence metabolism, hunger, and how calories are stored, then shaping that system might alter weight in meaningful ways, right? FMT offers one of the most direct ways to do that, by transplanting a healthy microbial community into someone with obesity. But what does the science actually say, and how does this affect the hormones that drive fat storage and appetite? First, can gut bacteria affect your weight? In this study, obese men who got gut microbes from lean donors didn't just improve insulin sensitivity, they changed how their bodies process energy. Their microbial diversity increased, especially bacteria linked to metabolism. While no weight loss was directly measured, the changes affected how the body stored fat and used glucose. The lean donor microbes seemed to shift the host system to burn more efficiently, without any changes in diet or exercise. That's a bold sign that gut health may help reset the body's weight balance from the inside out. Second, the evidence for weight loss in humans is early and not positive. While most studies show dramatic shifts in fat mass after FMT from lean to obese animals, human trials have been less clear. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study from 2020 found no significant weight loss after FMT alone, though some participants showed improved glucose regulation. Researchers believe that without changes in diet or lifestyle, FMT alone may not lead to lasting weight loss. Instead, it may serve as an adjunct to help reset metabolic systems when combined with behavioral changes. Alright, one last clue before the big reveal. Skip this even for one night and levels of a hormone called ghrelin shoot up. Another hormone, leptin, drops. That combo makes you reach for carbs, snack late, and store more fat around your belly. When good bugs go bad. FMT might sound like a miracle fix, but transferring microbes isn't without risks. That same bacteria that improve insulin sensitivity or hunger signaling could also bring unintended consequences. In this segment, we'll look at the potential downsides of FMT, from infections and immune issues to surprising metabolic side effects. Because when it comes to messing with your gut, sometimes even good bugs can go bad. First, risks of infection and immune system issues are real. FMT involves introducing living organisms from one person into another, and even with donor screening, things can go wrong. The FDA has issued safety alerts after reports of serious infections from unscreened donor stool, including multi-drug resistant bacteria. Immune-compromised individuals are especially at risk, and FMT is not FDA approved for general use outside of recurrent c.diff. Second, metabolic effects can be unpredictable. One of the strangest risks is also one of the most ironic. Some FMT recipients have reported unexpected weight gain, not loss. In rare cases, people gain significant fat after receiving stool from donors with higher BMI or different metabolic traits. This case report described a patient who became obese after a FMT from her overweight daughter. While rare, this shows that microbial traits may transmit unintended outcomes. Now you might be asking yourself, why not just take probiotics? Good question. The gist of it is that probiotics are like a few tourists visiting your gut. FMT would be like relocating an entire city there. Most over-the-counter probiotics contain a handful of bacterial strains, usually ones that are easy to grow and shelf-stable. But your gut microbiome is made up of hundreds of diverse species interacting in complex ways. FMT introduces an entire living ecosystem, including more specialized and rare species that probiotics simply can't deliver today. Also, many probiotics don't colonize well. They pass right through your system without permanently reshaping your microbiome. I mean, what better way to keep you buying the pills, right? FMT, on the other hand, can actually shift your gut's microbial balance long term, especially if your system is already disrupted. Probiotics can still be helpful for some people, especially after antibiotics or to support general gut health. But if you're looking to restore or reset a damaged microbiome or change your metabolism, they're not remotely in the same league as FMT. Now it's time for the Thinking Thin Spotlight, where I share an article or story that caught my attention. Let's dive in. Researchers at Yale may have found a new metabolic lever, cutting out a compound called cysteine. In mice fed high-fat diets, removing this one amino acid caused dramatic fat loss, turning white fat into energy-burning brown fat. Even without eating any less, the mice slimmed down. The same pathway showed up in humans under calorie restriction. Lower cysteine equaled more metabolic reprogramming. Scientists think the body may have a dormant fat-burning mode that switches on when cysteine drops. It's early, but it hints at a future where small dietary tweaks, not more discipline, could unlock real weight loss breakthroughs. We'll keep our eye on it for you. Full article linked in the description. And here's a meme we think you'll enjoy. Have an idea for a future meme? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. If we use your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the description. So what's the mystery habit? Sleep. Yep, poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It disrupts hunger hormones, reduces insulin sensitivity, and pushes fat to the worst places. We'll dig into the science behind it and cover some things you can do about it in the next episode, because this goes way deeper than willpower or late night cravings. Today we looked at the long medical history of FMT, explored how your gut microbiome shapes metabolism and hunger, and examined studies showing it might improve insulin sensitivity or reset your gut hormones. So, can a poop transplant really help you lose weight? In short, no. We saw how the evidence for weight loss alone is still very mixed, and that unintended consequences like infections or even weight gain are real. I wouldn't run out looking for one of these today, but that could change in the future. The takeaway? Your gut matters. And yes, those tiny microbes could play a big role in fat loss. Off-the-shelf probiotics can help a little, but probably aren't going to do a lot long term. So for now, FMT isn't a magic fix. It's a powerful tool that still needs more study, especially for weight-related use. Well, that's the show for today. If this kind of content interests you, hit that subscribe button, because I'll be diving into the latest trends, drug updates, and expert insights every week. Have a topic you'd like covered? Let us know in the comments. And a quick reminder, I'm not a doctor, this is for information only. So always talk to your own doctor before making changes to your diet or medications. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.